so amazing to see all the next generation coming up. I mean, that's what you strive for, you know what I mean? You strive to make things better so that girls want to be better and get better and be more competitive than you were. And so watching these younger girls come up and do what they're doing now, it makes me so proud. It makes me so proud of our sport. It's fun to see people like Kelcie today winning the world because she was also a part, she was kind of that next generation behind me to really be at the forefront and seeing all this happen too as well.
Well, you know, yes, we're new to the pro rodeo game, but we've been working just as long as these other people have. You know, we've been roping since we were young and through the junior rodeos, high school rodeos, college rodeos. We just didn't have an opportunity. You know, at 18 years old, we couldn't go buy our permit in the Breakaway because they didn't have it.
Like when I graduated college, I went and got my master's and finished college because I was gonna amateur rodeo and go to some big jackpots, but that was really all I saw for my future. And now these little girls growing up, they don't even know, you know, they do have this future and this opportunity because there's a lot of women that have come before us that have paved the way that aren't getting this chance.
Most of us competing now, really, when we were younger, we didn't see this being a thing, you know? So it's gonna be so cool to see these younger generations. It's just gonna get better and tougher and faster and pay more.
I pride myself in the fact that I try to be a part of every breakaway roping production that they have because that's what we do for a living. And there's literally girls all over the world from all ages, all walks of life that are coming out that can be 2 seconds or under.
There's so much for the young breakaway ropers to look forward to now. There's so many junior ropings starting at such a young age going up. And you got college coaches giving full ride scholarships. You can go get your degree and get it paid for through rodeo and breakaway roping. And then there's also now the professional level. If you don't want to go to college, you can continue to rope competitively. And as Joe B says now, you can make a living with a rope as a girl breakaway roper, and that's so awesome.
About 7 years ago, Gary McKinney with the WCRA and Sean Gleason with the PBR came together in Chicago and watched how much the crowd appreciated the breakaway roping and the ladies in the rodeo. And they saw the excitement that Jackie Crawford had when she held up that $50,000 check.
I'll never not give credit to the WCRA because some of the first conversations were with Bobby Moat and the WCRA, and you know, they're the ones that initially said, hey, we're gonna have breakaway as an official event, equal with the rest of you. We went to the Windy City Roundup in Chicago. We competed right alongside everyone else, and it was the biggest thing breakaway had ever seen. And right about that time, I was like, you know what? I want there to be a true world champion of sorts that comes from all over the United States, whatever it may be. And so that's where the Rope for the Crown kind of came about.
We were one of the first to add breakaway to Rising Stars. And then when 2018, we started down here with Jackie Crawford and I and started at the Plaza for Rope for the Crown Breakaway Championships with 25,000 added, and that was a really big step to have something like that for here in Vegas for the girls.
You know, after the WCRA, right behind it was the American, and the American said, hey, we're having you guys. And all of a sudden when they said they're having us, yeah, granted, we were for half the purse money. You know, the American paid 100, we were supposed to pay 50,000. The girls came in so strong that there was almost 500 runs that they had to do, 500 entries. And when we got down to the final day, they came and they're like, hey, we're paying y'all equal. We're paying you the 100,000, just like everybody else. And so it was like, awesome. You saw it, you see it, you get it.
You know, the WCRA was one of the first rodeo organizations to add breakaway roping and give them equal pay. I am a competitor. I know what it's like to be excluded. I know what it was like to hang my rope bag up when I was done in competition in college. I don't want my son's wives to ever know what that was like to work so hard at your craft, at your sport, and not have the opportunity to thrive at it and make a living doing it.
It's hard to be patient because a lot has changed, but it's been there. You know, the talent has been there. We've been, you know, fighting for all these things, you know, going to the American, the WCRA rodeos, you know, all the big things that we've got to do, you know, before the pro rodeos. But I'd love to see the breakaway, especially here in Vegas, to be equal with everybody else.
Kind of hear that deal about, you know, you need to pay your dues, and it's like, you don't even know about dues. I promise you, you stack us up to some of the younger PRCA people, and I promise you, we've paid our dues, and there's been a lot of us that have done so. And I think that, wow, I am so appreciative, and I love every event in rodeo. I love all of them. I'm a fan of every event in rodeo. I think that it's very important to have a recognition of another women's event besides barrels.
And it is an amazing feat. They are up and down the road just as much as any other athlete, any other discipline trying to make the NFR, and they deserve to be on an equal playing field.
In retrospect, we have a lot of opportunity as breakaway ropers because I do think there's a lot of people in the industry that see the value in the girls roping. We get to have like the WCRA women's finals. We get to go at the American, which I know all the other events do too, but we have the Kimes Ranch $1 Million Breakaway, and thank goodness that people like that are like, hey, we want a part of this. We see what y'all are doing. We understand how this moves the industry.
The Kimes Ranch still was such a great thing, and I was so thankful to get to be a part of it. I was really hoping it was going to do good for them, and I feel like it did. I thought it exceeded my expectations, and I'm sure they were so happy about it. Sold out crowd Saturday night. Not much more you can ask for there. And the payout was incredible. I mean, that's life-changing money.
That was awesome. You know, we had the 10 best in the world there, along with the 15 qualifiers that came through our qualifying system. So it was pretty special to have best of both worlds, to have those top girls there over Thanksgiving weekend, and then our 15 challenger type girls that came through our qualifying system to compete right alongside that, put on a heck of a show, and it was really good watching.
I mean, you're giving these girls the same payout as those men that go all year long and as those barrel racers that have all earned it, and we, certainly want to continue to reward that. But we've had more entries here than I could have possibly imagined. This sport is huge. It's just going to continue to grow and evolve, and it doesn't have to be the top girls. Obviously, that's who we're watching tonight, and we're rooting for all of them, but there's little girls out here too that are 10 and 11 years old.
The great thing is that these girls can truly make some money and make a living at this sport now, especially, if we can keep these type of events and elevating the sport, and competition's a great thing in our sport. So just keep raising the bar and everyone benefits.
The money was insane, and we just had so much fun there because, everybody was winning. I think that the average girl walked out of there with 70 grand. So that's the kind of money that the girls deserve to rope for.
Now that there's a big light on the breakaway roping world, it's a lot easier for sponsors to help us because sponsors are getting something back.
Those you see here on the arena walls tonight, those sponsors that we have, they were instantly excited to be involved and be a part of making history, a groundbreaking event. And we were fortunate with Teton Ridge and every other sponsor you see here that they really jumped on and believed in what we were doing. And it just came together. It was a lot of hard work and bringing in the right crew and people that knew what they were doing.
Anytime Joe B can be on there commentating for you, that's the first thing you want to go listen to because he does the NFR. So a lot of these girls, it's just one of those things they look forward to get to rope for that kind of money and it be live on, a sports network. That's unbelievable for us and for all the girls. And that's the kind of exposure that I think is really going to help us.
Our brand was built on everyone in this greater equine industry. So nothing is more important to us to continue to give back to those that believed in us when we were just a small brand ourselves. So, Breakaway as a whole is still small and growing. So now it's our turn to repay the favor and to help grow them because they did it for us all those years ago.
It's when big things like that happen, I think it opens eyes even more, and shows people like, hey, we can do this and we are professionals. I hope it opens even, more doors and just blows the ceiling off of anything we can think of.
The opportunities are endless, and I really do think that the breakaway roping is going to get there one day. We've picked up a lot of steam over the last few years, and if you want to be a breakaway roper, if you have dreams to be a breakaway roper, just go pick a rope up, get somebody good to help you, and go after it.
I think it's amazing, and I can't say that I'm not extremely grateful and for the opportunity to get to rope at the South Point, an opportunity to have an NFR for Breakaway. Obviously, though, you're as a competitor or anyone with blood flowing through them, you're gonna want the top of the mountain, right? You're gonna want the pinnacle. So of course we want to rope in the Thomas and Mack. Of course I want to back in the box behind, when Shad Mayfield goes and blasts one, I want to come back in the Breakaway and be able to rope one, just like we do at every rodeo throughout the year, pretty much, basically now, As much as I love our opportunity, I love it, and I'm forever grateful for it. I love it, but you can't be a competitor and not say, hey, I want to run one of the Thomas and Mack.